Most people think that you need to earn six figures or at least make more money to improve your finances or that will take years, but that's not true. With the right plan, you can reset your finances in just 6 months, even if you earn a modest income. It's about making your money work smarter so that you're not stuck living paycheck to paycheck or one emergency away from being broke. In this video, I'm breaking down how to change your finances in 6 months with my step-by-step plan. Hey, I'm Davina and welcome to my finance corner. I've been working in accounting and finance for over 15 years and I've learned a lot both from my career and my own personal finance journey. And on this channel, we'll talk all things money in a way that's simple and relatable. Let's get into it. So, month one, know your why and your current financial position. Before we even look into the numbers, I want you to take a second to ask yourself, why do I want to improve my finances? This is important because if you don't have a why, it's easier to get knocked off track when things get tough. For me, I was in debt, I had no savings, and I genuinely hated the feeling of being broke. I wanted to travel, I wanted to take time off work and not have to panic every time something unexpected happened. That vision, that why, is what kept me going. So take a moment to think about this and write it down. Keep it somewhere that you can see it often so that you can remind yourself of why you're doing this when things start to get a bit tough. Now it's time to get real about where you are financially. Most people avoid this step because as humans, we're conditioned to do what makes us feel comfortable. We think that if we don't know our numbers or if we avoid looking at those bills, then it doesn't matter. But avoiding your numbers will only make things worse. Facing your numbers might be uncomfortable, but it will give you the clarity that you need to start making changes. So grab your bank statement and look at your numbers. What is your net income? That's the amount that actually hits your bank account every month. How much you spend on essential living expenses, things like housing and food, the things that you need to survive each month. How much you spend on non-essential expenses. These are things like subscriptions, takeaways, and shopping. Once you deduct everything, what is left? That's your starting point. It's not about guilt or shame. This is just about awareness. You can use an app or even a notebook and pen to get your numbers, or you can use a My Budget template, which I'll link in the description box below, and you can grab a copy for free. Month two, take your first £1,000 and optimize your expenses. If you don't have any savings, your goal this month is to work towards saving your first £1,000. This small cushion will give you peace of mind and put you ahead of most people. You can start saving using the disposable income you have. That's the money that you calculated in month one. It might feel like a stretch, especially if you're used to spending your money on whatever you want, but think of it as a short term sacrifice for long term peace. And you want to automate it so that this happens without effort. If you already have some savings or you have a bit more disposable income to work with, in this month, I want you to focus on saving at least 1 month's worth of living expenses. And while you're doing this, look at ways to cut back. Now, I'm not talking about your daily Starbucks here. I'm talking about going for the big three. That's housing, food, and transportation. Because this is going to give you the most results for your effort. When I was trying to cut back, I got a car that was cheap to maintain and I reduced my food costs. So I shopped at cheaper grocery stores, I planned my meals, I went grocery shopping with a list, and I cut back on eating out. And you can do the same. Look at those big three numbers and look at ways that you can cut back in those areas. Also, call your service providers. A lot of people don't realize this, but your bills are negotiable. Think about it this way: businesses work to retain customers, so they would rather keep you than spend money trying to acquire a new customer. So don't be afraid to negotiate. At the end of the day, you don't get what you don't ask for, right? I do this myself. Every 12 to 18 months, when my contract with my internet provider is up, I call them. I say, hey, I've been with you for X amount of years. I like your service, but what discounts can you offer? Trust me, it works. You don't have to be a skilled negotiator to do it. If I can do it, trust me, anyone can. You can also use websites like USwitch to compare prices and ensure you're getting the best deal. And once you start doing this and you see how much money that you're able to save, trust me, you'll want to keep going. Month three, tackle your debt. Now that you've created some breathing room, let's get to tackling your debt. I'm not talking about mortgage or student loans. They're lower interest and not the priority right now. I'm talking about consumer debt. This is things like credit card, personal loans, and payday loans. This is considered bad debt because it comes with higher interest, and that essentially means that you're going to end up paying back way more than you initially borrowed. So let's start with all of your debts in order of interest from highest to lowest and use the avalanche method to pay it off. The avalanche method is where you pay off the debts with the highest interest rate first, and this is the best approach because it will save you money in the long term. So at this stage, yes, prioritize paying off your debt, but still save something, even if it's just £100 a month, because you don't want to be in a situation where an emergency happens, like your car or boiler breaks down, and then you end up having to get back into debt to cover it. That's going backwards. And right now, in these next 6 months, we're focused on moving forward, right? And it doesn't have to be perfect. What matters most at this stage is you're building two powerful habits. You're building the discipline to stay committed to your goals, and you're building protection to cover you if life throws you a curveball. Month 4, build your emergency fund and increase your income. Now that you're paying down debt, it's time to build your full emergency fund. Aim to save at least 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. This is the kind of cushion that gives you peace of mind, and it will allow you to sleep better at night knowing that you've got options. Because let's say, for example, that you lost your job, you won't need to panic because that buffer will afford you time to take a step back and figure things out. And you need to leave this money in a high interest savings account that's easy to access. That way, you're removing the temptation to dip into it and you're earning a little extra income on top of your savings. Also, this month, start looking at ways to increase your income. Increasing your income will give you more room in your budget to allocate towards your goals and help speed up your progress. You can increase your income by asking for a raise. Listen, don't just coast by at work. If you want to improve your finances over the next 6 months, you're going to have to do something different. So speak up for yourself and ask for a raise. Maybe consider starting a side hustle. Do you have skills that you can monetize, like writing, graphic design, or marketing? When I wanted to increase my income, I used my skills in accounting and finance to offer bookkeeping services to small businesses. Now, offering a service is probably the fastest way to make extra money because you're paid once you provide that service. Another option is to look into ways to earn passive income. This is a great option, especially if you work full time, because it will mean that you won't have to continue to exchange your time for money. Because the idea is you create a product once and you can sell it over and over again. For example, you could create digital products like printables, templates, an ebook, or you could go high ticket and create a course. This will take a little work up front, but it's scalable and you can make money on the side without stress. Month 5, start investing. Okay, so you've got your savings, you've got a budget, you've paid down your debt. Now it's time to start building long term wealth through investing. A lot of people skip this step because they either think they don't have enough money, they don't know what they're doing, they're scared to make a mistake, or they think that they should just keep saving. I did this myself. I saved way longer than I needed to because I was scared to start investing. Saving just felt easier and safer, so I kept putting it off. But eventually I realized I wasn't building anything. Yes, I had savings, which is an essential step in improving your finances, but my money wasn't working for me. And the thing is, you don't need to be a financial expert or have tens of thousands of pounds set aside to get started. You can start small and keep it simple. Now, first, ensure that you've maxed out your employer's pension match because this is essentially free money and you don't want to leave nothing on the table. Next, open a tax advantage account. If you're in the UK, you can use the stocks and shares ISA. If you're in the US, look into a Roth IRA. These accounts allow you to invest without having to pay tax on your profits, so you get to keep more of your money. And then start investing in low cost index funds. These are diversified, they're beginner friendly, and they perform very well over time. When I started, I could only afford to invest £250 a month, and over time that grew into a 5-figure portfolio with very little effort. So even if it's just £50 or £100 that you can afford to invest, do it. What matters most is consistency. This is how you start working for your money and making money work for you. Over time, you'll see that money grow from capital gains and compound interest, and that's how you start moving into managing your money like the 1%. Number 6, reflect and adjust. You've done so much over the past few months, so take a second to celebrate that. Now it's time to reflect. Have you cleared your debt? Do you have your 3 to 6 month emergency fund in place? Are you investing consistently? If you answered yes to any of those, amazing. Now tweak your plan to reflect where you are. A lot of people either don't make a budget at all or they make one and it's way too rigid. The reality is life changes and your finances change, so your budget should change with it. So this month, I want you to revisit your numbers, but look at them through a fresh lens. Reallocate your money. If you've paid off your debt, or at least a majority of it, can you start allocating more money to saving or investing? Adjust your budget. If your income has gone up, can you give yourself a bit more breathing room in your budget? Maybe even treat yourself. Just don't let lifestyle creep sneak in and undo your progress. Automate everything: bills, saving, and investing. Set it all up in the background. This takes the mental load off and allows your money to do what it needs to do every single month. And start tracking your net worth. That's your assets minus your liabilities, because that's what the wealthy focus on, not just your income. And that's how you keep and grow your money over time. And finally, set a recurring money date with yourself every single month. Take this time to check in, review, and refine. That's how you stay consistent long term. You don't need to be perfect, you don't need to be rich. You just need a plan and a solid reason why. If you follow this 6 month plan, you'll be shocked how far you come in a short time and you'll be so happy that you committed to the change. Let me know in the comments below what's one change that you're gonna start with this month. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, check out my other video on how to save money on a low income. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.